I never made it, but I know what it takes.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for subscribing to my Speedway channel. We were originally going to do a two-part series with Kenny Carter story, and actually there's so much more, so we have to extend it to 4. So if you don't like it, I apologize, but Kenny Carter is a very interesting character, and we're going to talk about it right now.
Light up like this. I'm far away from Earth and I wanna know.
Do you remember that famous episode at the 1982 World Championships Event 14 where Kenny called the referee and said, "That's not fair"? Well, we found out that Kenny did that a lot when he was unhappy in England. He'd pick up the phone and he'd say, "Hey ref, you're unfair."
The protest is starting. Referee George Middleton, the ring of the phone, I think, to Carter. Carter can't believe it. You can hear him singing, "I can't believe it."
I had Chen in the corner, and Bruce just took my leg, and I couldn't get him. Just both of my wheels just went from under me, and he just ran me straight through the fence coming out. I was on the outside in front, and he just took my leg straight underneath me, and I'm not kidding, referee. I just don't have a chance. Being injured of it isn't... Hello? I've been injured of it. He's not listening. He took my leg and everything. I had no chance. Excuse me, Red. How can I cause the stoppage of the race when it...
In episode 2, we forgot to add Bruce Penhall. He had a take on exactly what happened during the Kenny Carter Bruce Penhall crash.
We had about 3 or 4 tussles earlier in the night. You know, I mean, what am I supposed to do? Let him shut off? Let him go by? I didn't do it deliberately. He was on the outside of me. I never even saw
Oh,
him.
never in my life did I wanna see you more than this.
Also, it came to me by some reputable sources that in episode 1, when I reported the great Ivan Major, he went ahead and told Kenny to run the Dunlop tires. Well, it so happened, I read that, and it so happened that several sources came back to me and said, no, it wasn't Ivan Major. It was his papa who actually brought a bunch of Dunlop tires from England on the airplane.
Am I drifting? Tie me to someone who
Because they didn't have that many Dunlop tires in America in 1982. They had primarily Carlisle's. Why? Because the Carlisle's worked the best.
knew it when I saw you. I'm not the only one, and you know.
What's the big deal between Dunlop and Carlisle? Well, the Carlisle is a fatter, rounder tire, and it doesn't fall so much when it catches the edge. Whereas the Dunlop, I rode those both tires, and the Dunlop's more squared. So when you lose your edge on the Dunlop, you go down just like Kenny Carter went down. But the Carlisle actually is fatter tire and it rolls. So when you go down, it actually just keeps going down. You have to go down very far to lose the edge. Kenny just pleaded and pleaded with the referee to exclude Bruce Penhall and to have him do the rerun of the start. But the thing is he wasn't going to win the World Championship.
I am going to fall off on purpose. All my bike and my leg and everything, it just went under the fence. I had no chance. And the referee won't come and have a look at it on the video.
Kenny was in a total of 3 World Championships, and each time he got 5th place. He was going to be in actually more World Championships, but he had a broken leg and other injuries which kept him out. He had a string of bad luck when it came to the World Championships. Even though Kenny never won a World Championship, he won several British League Championships with, I think one of them was with that broken leg. And the late, great Ronnie Moore, he won, I believe it was like the 1959 World Championship with a broken leg and 5 places. Also, I heard a rumor that Kenny hated all the American riders, but that's not true. A couple of the riders that he liked that I know of were the Moran brothers, Kelly and Sean Moran. Kenny wasn't a foreigner to tragedy. His mother got in a serious car accident when he was a young child. His younger brother passed away. His mom was paralyzed for life. She was in a wheelchair with Valium and other drugs. She was never the same. Kenny lost his mother at a young age, and it really affected him. And a couple years after the accident, she suicided herself. So Kenny got to experience all this tragedy in his life, and that pretty much messed him up. Being a mama's boy myself, I really love my mom. Rest in peace, Mom. And if my mom had died that way, that would have messed me up also. Many say that Kenny needed lots of counseling, which you almost don't blame him. But in the 1980s, they didn't have any mental health counseling. And he just went ahead like nothing happened, but something did happen in his life. And Kenny was just ahead of his time as a writer. He probably didn't even fit in the 1980s. He probably would fit in good in 2020. I think that Kenny would have done really well in today's GP format of several races, not just one. I think the one race format wasn't suited for Kenny. I think the several race GP series would be really good. He would have many races to win that world championship. You probably would have seen Kenny Carter world champion if he was in today's format. Well, that's it. Kenny Carter, an amazing speedway rider. And we're going to do one more vlog. Can you handle that? One more, part 4. And we're going to talk about Kenny's successes in the British League. We have more unbelievable videos of Kenny Carter and other riders right here, and you can go ahead and check out some more videos we have here. And we just want to thank you again for subscribing to my channel. Please like, share, subscribe, and always ring that bell.